So this is a very controversial food on the Faroe Islands. And in fact, if you go there, I was going there to film, obviously. If you, yeah, all right, he's slicing it up now.
And did you just eat it right like this?
Yeah. It might leave a little taste in your mouth.
I'm going to put that aside.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to think about it.
I would say to get the bark off, get the outer layer off, and maybe take a piece from the inside, or not at all.
Okay.
So it's very controversial food because people like whales.
Yeah.
Whales are smart. They're cute. This is something that they've been doing in the Faroe Islands for hundreds of years. In fact, it's one of the oldest records of any country. They've kept these insane records going back hundreds of years of these. It's called like Grindabab, something like that. It's like they get the whales and they bring them to shore. Have you heard about this?
No.
Fantastic. So I was just there. I was hoping to see one in action. I was told if you see one and you approach them and you film, they will destroy your camera because they've had so many issues with protesters there, among them Sea Shepherd, who's trying to put an end to the whaling.
Yeah.
So the whaling they do there is far different from the whaling that you're going to see in a place like Japan. Japan, I think they're hunting blue whales. They're hunting whales that are actually vulnerable species, and they're doing it under the guise of research, and they put like research on their boat as if we're like,
they're selling the animal.
Yeah, and then they sell it. Oh my gosh! And some people there. Somebody took me on a market tour in Japan, and they're like, well, the meat is left over. They don't want to waste it after the research, so they sell it here. And I'm like, you buy that? You believe that? And she did. So what they're doing is different in the Faroe Islands because they're not going out to sea. And so their method of getting the whales is never going to lead to their extinction. The whales populate the Atlantic, and the Faroe Islands is just a tiny, small collection of 18 islands in the middle of the Atlantic between like Scotland and Iceland, and they've got 50,000 people. So when a pod of whales comes by and somebody spots them, they kind of sound the alarm. First of all, they'll get some boats together and try to guide them to one of the bays. At this point, this is what I love, this idea that everybody is so into the Grint, this event that happens, that you could be in your corporate job in a room talking about Q4 sales, doing your report, pitching to your team, and then you could get a phone call, hey, the whales are here, let's go. Everybody, when the alarm goes off, if you got to leave church, if you got to leave work, you do it, it's understood. Yeah, go get the whales.
Really?
Yes.
Even today?
Even today.
Corporate jobs.
I went to the most normal family's home ever, and I did a fridge tour like on Men's Health on YouTube, and it was like here's a whale that we got from earlier this year. We got about 300 pounds. It was so interesting, and this is like the most normal corporate white-collar guy ever. And so they all get the call. They go down there because the amount of meat you get depends on how much you help out. They have a very detailed system for how to allocate the meat. The process of actually getting the whales, though, they steer the whales towards the shore. Then once they get close to the bay, they start clanging on the boats and making noise and trying to throw off their sonar. Eventually, the whales get close enough to the shore where people can run out from the beach and hook the whales in their blowhole and start pulling them up.
What?
This is our video that's going to be coming up.
Oh my God, this is horrific.
Well, yeah,
holy shit.
That's why it's controversial.
So all of these people, and these people wearing like modern clothes, and I mean, these do not look like tribal people. They look like anybody that could be in fucking New Hampshire.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're just slaughtering these whales. And
So
they're slicing their necks. Oh my God, this is horrible.
So what makes it horrible to you?
That they're whales. I mean, just whales to me are like, it's almost like killing a golden retriever.
And I'm not
This is rough.
I'm not saying you're wrong or right, but I think it's interesting to explore where that
Well, I think if you
the
live
ethics
there.
exist for each person. So
Yes,
for
and-
you, like what is the line for okay to eat, not okay to eat? Because
Yeah.
like I have eaten dog, but I wouldn't probably eat it again.
Yeah.
And I'm not that into it. But we all have these lines that we create for ourselves. So where's the line for you?
It's a good question. My friend Steve Ranella, he went to Guyana, and the tribes people there were eating monkeys, and they cooked it. I think it was Guyana.
I ate monkey this year.
And he said it was like smoked turkey, like the way they do it. Like that's what it tasted like.
Oh, wow.
And he said it was just, there's a part of you that's like, what the fuck? Like we're eating a primate? Like
Right.
This is intense. I'd probably eat a whale before I'd eat a primate.
Yeah. I mean, I did something similar this year with the Hadzabe. But just to finish about the whales.
Yeah, Bolivian jungle with tsunami hunters. How do you say that?
Simane, maybe?
Simane hunters, and we ate monkey. Only got 35 likes. 2014.
So
what if he shadow banned?
So I mean, no wonder it's controversial. No wonder people get upset. It's because it's in your face. It's not like a slaughterhouse.
It also looks like so many whales. It's not like a couple.
However many whales they can get is how many they kill. And so once they bring them onto the beach, they have this tool they use to kind of go into their spine quickly, and that severs the spine and it kills them pretty much instantly. And then from there, it's just about moving them around, cutting them up, portioning up the meat, and then you get a portion of the meat depending on how you helped. And if you had a boat, you might get more. Right. And if you're just cutting stuff up, you might get less. And it's a fascinating system. I understand why it upsets people, but it was interesting. There's so many documentaries like this, the footage you just pulled up. The difference is nobody ever goes to their home. They just end it there. Isn't this terrible? Look at the whales. And so I actually got to go into someone's home, look in their freezer, and eat a whale meal that they prepared and experience that with them. And I guess my biggest takeaway was it's so different from any other animal. It's got a big layer of blubber on the outside. There's skin, which is about 1/4 of an inch thick, and then the blubber must be, 3-4 inches thick, and then it's just protein, this dark red protein after that. And there's no taste you could compare it to. And so it's not like, just eat chicken instead, just eat beef instead. You cannot replace whale meat. You can only take it away. And it's a tradition that they've had for hundreds of years at this point. So I understand why they don't really want people's opinions or points of view when it comes to this. And my biggest thing in going there was finding out, is this sustainable? And from everything I could see, it seems this is sustainable. It's something that they could keep doing long term because they're not going out into the ocean to seek out whales. And so I kind of get why they do it and why they're going to keep doing it.
Well, I get why they're doing it if you think of the fact that these people have lived on this island for who knows how long, probably thousands of years, right?
Right.
How long have they been there? And that was probably a main food source to keep them alive for a long time.